Well, the Department of Veterans Affairs is swinging the axe, aiming to slash nearly 15% of its workforce, while safeguarding, this is key, 300,000 mission critical positions. A lot of people might say that sounds like efficiency at work, but not everyone sees it that way.
Veterans should not have, their VA benefits slashed. I agree with you. Veterans that have served in our country's uniform for 20 years should not be fired randomly by a billionaire immigrant from South Africa.
Joining us now to settle this once and for all, Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins. If I hear that one more time, that benefits are being slashed, Mr. Secretary, you settle what's really going on at the VA and what you're accomplishing by right-sizing this agency for veterans.
Oh, I'd be glad to, but of course, I'm not sure Joe Scarborough at this point really cares about the truth, because he's nothing but honestly shilling for a lie and a position that's just not true. Nobody is cutting benefits at the VA. Nobody is cutting health care benefits at the VA. In fact, to be honest, those are statutory cuts that you're not going to be making cuts in there anyway. That's just not happening. Quit scaring my veterans, Joe Scarborough. Quit, please. Just stop. Tell the truth. And also, when it comes to veterans being fired, something, I haven't seen a show yet where Joe Scarborough or anybody else from the legacy media has done any reports on CNN laying off 6% of their workforce. Bet you veterans were in there. Southwest Airlines cutting off 15%. Bet you veterans were there. I have the privilege of serving every veteran, not just the ones that they want to pick on that are in the federal government. There are veterans all over serving this country. It's time to stop scaring my veterans and scaring my employees.
So, Mr. Secretary, you've made that very clear, and I think some of the fear-mongering, we hear it, of course, from politicians trying to score points. But to average people who are watching, who are veterans or have veterans in their family, they see, okay, they're going to try to slash 15% of the workforce. How can they guarantee that won't affect the overall product or the benefits? What's your message to those people who might be concerned as they hear all this noise?
Well, I think the biggest thing that's big concern is listen to what we're putting out and understand something. We have an agency that's been broken for a while. GAO has said that the VA was on the high-risk list, our health side, for fraud, waste, and abuse for quality care for over 10 years. 10 years. So you know what the last 4 years they decided to do? Put tens of billions of dollars into the VA and tens of thousands of people. And you know what actually happened? Our metrics went down or stayed the same or got worse. Maybe it's not the money and the numbers of people we're throwing at the problem. Maybe it's the organization itself and the way it's structured. And so what I'm saying is we're putting people aside. We're not cutting frontline workers. We're not cutting frontline health care. We're not cutting the folks who do the disability claims. What we are going to look at, though, is the massive amounts of bureaucracy from central office on down that gets in between the care that we have here and the actual answers that they need to get. We're actually looking at it and saying, maybe if we spent this amount of money over this years and not gotten a good result, maybe it's time we actually ask better questions. So what I would tell them is, trust what we're doing here in the sense of that everything we've done so far. In fact, in the last little bit, I've been so proud after even the last few rounds of cuts that we've had, our benefits claims have actually been processed quicker. We're processing more each day than we have in the past. We've hit 1 million even before a week ahead of schedule that's ever been done before. And we're seeing more and more of our folks in our healthcare clinics and opening more clinics across the country. So believe the reality, not the fake reality that they're trying to put out.
So just very, very quickly, from what I heard you say there, some of the bureaucracy that you're cutting is actually new, recent bureaucracy that has not improved anything.
Oh, exactly. I mean, when you're looking at that many people that were hired, look, in the last little bit, there's been interior designers, there have been executive assistants, there's been laborers, there's been gardeners. Those are the ones that have been in the first rounds of what we've been looking at. And just from that perspective, I don't think any of those had anything to do with health care or benefits claims that they are being accused of. We're making sure that those are being protected and redirecting money, by the way, to give more health care and more community care to those that need it.
Can you say that again, Mr. Secretary? Interior designers and gardeners.
Yeah, there's been that in laborers and executive assistants and others. Look, anybody loses a job, I feel sympathy for. I've been fired. I know what that's like, and it's not easy. And it's hard to make cuts here, and I'm not making light of anything, but also my agency is not an employment agency at the VA. It's a service organization at the VA. And the service that we give is to some of the most special people we have, and that is our veterans. So when we look at it from the perspective of what you're supposed to be doing, we're aiming our target and making sure it's that veteran getting the care that they need instead of getting the runaround that unfortunately they've gotten. The VA has been the punching bag for a long time. We're not going to be the punching bag anymore.
Amen, Mr. Secretary. Secretary Doug Collins, thank you so much. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. People need to stop acting like government jobs are some sacred guarantee, because those of us in the private sector who've been fired before know otherwise.